Hi, tonight, I want to talk about a silent, heavy ache that almost everyone carries but rarely speaks out loud. Let me share a story about a young man who fought this exact same invisible war within his soul. In a sweeping valley known for its legendary gardens, there lived a young apprentice named Ren. The valley was famous because its soil was uniquely blessed. Seeds planted there would erupt into brilliant, colorful blooms within a matter of mere weeks. The villagers took immense pride in this speed, constantly competing to see who could grow the tallest sunflowers or the most dazzling cherry blossoms. Speed was seen as the ultimate measure of a gardener's worth. When Ren turned 18, his grandfather, the oldest master gardener in the region, handed him a tiny, rough, unremarkable gray seed. The old man looked into Ren's eager eyes and said softly, "This is a seed of the imperial ironwood. It requires a different kind of devotion. Plant it in the quiet corner of the valley, tend to it every day, and trust what you cannot see." Ren was thrilled. He cleared a patch of earth, carefully buried the seed, and watered it with meticulous care. Within a month, his peers' gardens were already bursting with vibrant green shoots and early blossoms. They laughed, sang, and celebrated their rapid success under the morning sun. Ren ran to his plot, expecting to see a sign of life, but his soil was completely bare. Nothing had changed. 6 months passed. The valley was now a riot of magnificent colors. Ren's friends were harvesting fruit, selling beautiful bouquets at the crowded market, and earning praise from the village elders. Ren, meanwhile, spent every single morning kneeling in the dirt, watering an empty patch of brown earth. The villagers began to whisper. They told him he was wasting his youth, that his seed was dead, and that he was being left far behind by everyone his age. The whispers began to poison Ren's mind. Every night, he lay awake with a spinning brain, comparing his empty patch of dirt to the blooming paradise next door. He felt a profound sense of shame and failure. He began to secretively check the soil at midnight, using his fingers to claw at the earth, desperate to see if anything was happening beneath the surface. But there was only dark, silent soil. Frustrated and on the verge of giving up, Ren climbed to the very top of the jagged mountain peaks where the oldest, most massive trees in the world stood against the sky. There, he found his grandfather sitting quietly on a weathered stone, watching the clouds roll through the deep canyons below. Ren collapsed onto the grass, his voice trembling with exhaustion. "Grandfather, I have done everything right. Yet, everyone else has built a paradise, and I have absolutely nothing to show for my life. I am standing still while the world moves on. Why is my seed refusing to grow?" The old master didn't answer right away. He simply pointed out toward a colossal, ancient tree whose trunk was wider than 5 men standing together. Its branches stretched so high into the heavens that they seemed to hold up the clouds themselves. "That is the ironwood," the grandfather said softly. "When a normal flower seed falls to the earth, it pours all its energy into the surface. It rushes to grow a stem, rushes to push out leaves, and rushes to bloom, because its life is short and its roots are shallow. A simple summer drought can wipe it out in a single afternoon. But the ironwood is different. For the first 5 long years, it does not grow a single inch above the ground. To the untrained eye, it looks like a failure. It looks like dead space. But beneath that dark, quiet soil, the seed is working furiously. It is driving its roots dozens of feet deep into the solid bedrock of the mountain. It is building an unbreakable, invisible anchor. It does not rush to bloom because it is preparing to stand for 1,000 years. And when those 5 years of silence are finally over, it will erupt from the earth, growing 60 feet in a single season. The flowers that rush to bloom will look up at it in awe, completely protected under its massive shadow. Ren stood silently on the mountain peak, the cool wind washing over his face as the truth of his grandfather's words settled deep into his spirit. He looked down at his calloused hands, realizing that his years of silent tending weren't a waste of time. He wasn't being left behind, he was simply being anchored. Let that old story sit quietly in your heart tonight. My friends, this is where our Guftugu begins, because so many of you are living exactly like Ren in his first few years. You look at your peers, you scroll through social media, and you see an endless parade of early blooms. You see people who seem to have figured out their careers, their relationships, and their financial security at breakneck speed, and you feel a quiet, crushing panic that your own soil is completely empty. But you need to understand a beautiful psychological truth. Your quiet, silent, uncelebrated seasons are not dead space. Just because you do not have a massive harvest to show the world right now does not mean you are not growing. There are phases of a human life that are meant for the surface, and there are phases that are meant entirely for the roots. Right now, you might be in a root-building season. You are learning who you are when the lights are off. You are developing resilience through silent struggles that no one else sees. You are building character, gathering wisdom, and processing your past failures so that when you finally do step into your own season of blooming, you have the emotional bedrock to sustain it without crashing down. If a tree grows 60 feet tall without a deep root system, the very first winter storm will rip it out of the ground and destroy it completely. The universe is not punishing you by making you wait, it is protecting you by ensuring your anchor is strong enough to hold the weight of your future destiny. Stop measuring your internal progress by someone else's external timeline. A lotus blooms in the mud, a cherry blossom blooms in the spring, the ironwood takes 5 years of absolute silence. None of them are wrong. They are simply honoring their own nature. So, before you close your eyes tonight, I want you to make a peaceful pact with yourself. Look back at your day, look at your current life, and repeat these words to your overactive mind: I am not lagging behind. I am not failing. I am simply building the roots that will sustain my future. I trust my own timing, and I honor my silent growth. Let go of the frantic need to prove your worth to the world today. Let the brown, quiet soil of your life just rest for the night. Trust that beneath the surface, something incredibly beautiful, deep, and unshakable is quietly taking hold. May the universe grant you the patience to trust your hidden growth when the world demands immediate results. May your heart find shelter from the anxiety of comparison, and may you be blessed with the deep peace of knowing that your season is coming, perfectly on time. Take care of yourself, breathe softly, and until we sit down to talk again, peace be upon you.